Has anybody asked you if you're demon possessed? Maybe we're all a little demon possessed. In Bible times, they used to talk about being, an evil spirit or demon possessed, and people did everything they could to get away from those people. And in our times, we don't call people demon possessed, but we call them the toxic people. And likewise, we try to get away from those people. Maybe they're even the people we disagree with. But whatever the situation is, it's something we can all look at. I think with all the narratives going on, we probably could say we're all somewhat haunted by all the conflicting storylines and narratives going around. And also in the Bible, the example of Jesus, I think we could ask ourselves, well, was Jesus a well-adjusted, happy person? Do we really think Jesus came just to wish us all a good day and a happy new year? Welcome. Welcome to Illinois Bridging Awareness. I'm Stanley Smith. Each week at Illinois Bridging Awareness, we tackle some of these topics and try to navigate where we are in this strange time in world history and the strange time and situation we're always in our life, navigating the gap between our everyday lives and our larger conscious and spiritual selves. And that's something we have in common with everybody in history, in all places and in all times. Each week on the call, it's if you really pay attention and observe, it's all pretty laid out there. We have all the different topics and all the different scenarios and all the different examples and reactions and experiences that people are having. And it does paint a picture and tell a story of where we are individually and collectively. Last week, I shared a story about after Christmas angst of gifts we might have received that didn't quite fit the bill. I ran into one gentleman at the club, and he was lamenting about some frying pans he got. His sister gave him these iron skillets, and he'd asked her specifically for ceramic, but she insisted on giving him these iron skillets because she liked them. And he said she likes them, so she wants everyone else to like them. He was going to take them to a Goodwill and take a picture of himself donating the pans to Goodwill and then send it to his sister. I think probably there was some issue of control or something else going on in that dynamic, but I was going to try to find out if I could find out what Goodwill he donated those pans to. I also shared on a call one of my favorite New Year's Eve stories was the story of the Poseidon Adventure, when everyone on a cruise ship is having a New Year's Eve celebration, just as a giant tidal wave comes and capsizes the whole ship, and the party turns into an adventure action thriller where a handful of people have to scramble to save their lives. It's I guess I just love a good disaster now and then. And part of that, we talked about these opportunities. I mean, no one wants to capsize or be in a dangerous situation, but every situation in life is an opportunity, and there are rescue attempts and opportunities that come our way. And the joke about the guy in the flood, and he's praised to God for rescue, and sure enough, a boat comes by and asks him to jump in, and he says, "No, my faith is in the Lord." And then the waters continue to rise, and at the very end, a helicopter comes, and he says, "No, I'm all good. My faith is in the Lord." And when this guy gets to heaven, he says to the Lord, "Well, what was up with this? You didn't save me." And the Lord says, "Well, I sent you the boat and I sent you the helicopter. So what boats and helicopters have we seen that it hasn't quite fit the bill? It wasn't just exactly to our liking, and we made it into a power play, a control situation, and we rejected those opportunities and let them pass by. And maybe we should have taken advantage of those opportunities and used them as an opportunity to advance, to avail ourselves of even greater opportunities down the road." On the call, we've also talked about the topic of good and evil, and that the good and bad and like and dislike is probably more akin to our paradigm and not God's. We live in the good and evil paradigm, but it's not God's paradigm. And in all this navigating of good and evil and like and dislike and these control issues, I can speak from my own experience. I'm haunted by mistakes and errors and second guessing, somewhat of a haunted life experience. And some of those demons do crop up now and then and infringe on my capacity as a person. Maybe maybe we should look at our response to fear and our response to love. We've talked quite a bit about our fight, flight, and shutdown response to fear, and how being in a cycle creates trauma and an endless cycle that really is very, very disempowering. But we haven't looked at what's the opposite of fear. Living in fear, it's probably love. So we talked a little bit about what that looks like. What does the love response look like? It looks like being energized, being motivated, and taking action. So if we see in our lives that we're waiting or being disempowered, we should think, well, what is it that's moving us to action? What is it that motivates us to take action in a positive way and cultivate that? Someone on the call used the word bliss. Like when we feel bliss or peace or joy in our hearts, then we know we're experiencing the love and we're having a love response, which makes us want to share that with others and spring into action, even if it's a small action. We talked about even offering people on the street a faint smile would be an action. It's something you can do. Each week on the call, we use our breath in the opening exercise of breathing in for 3 counts and then exhaling for 3 counts. And this week we talked about breathing into our love response, breathing into love and mercy and forgiveness, and exhaling into loving kindness, a smile, and loving gestures toward other people, and also recognizing people's humanity, everyone's humanity. When we see people and see the humanity in other people, we see the humanity in ourselves, and we're all elevated together. On the Saturday call, these last months, we've had the benefit of so many terrific participants. We've had Ania Gramone and Jim Downs, Jeanette Hurt, Maureen Riley, Gayla Vidas, and many others. Everybody has something to give. Everyone has a name and a face, and the varying comfort levels of engaging and sharing, and that's all good and it's all appreciated. Many of these people and things that have been shared have been lifeboats that have come our way, and I do believe that most of us on the call have benefited from this and jumped into the boat. As a group, we jumped into the boat of the General Assembly here in Illinois. We formed a General Assembly here in Illinois, and that was a major step. That was us crossing over into action, and it was a very joy-filled gathering, an event, and everyone involved was very positive and very loving. And it was something we have been waiting for. Waiting serves a purpose, and being open serves a purpose. But then seeing the opportunity as the boat or the helicopter, or even a nice gesture from someone as the opportunity you've been waiting for, and taking advantage of the opportunity and acting upon it, is what we did, and was a great example and was a great experience. So we might not know exactly what we're waiting for. We have so many conflicting storylines and narratives, but we are narrowing in on the idea that probably most everything we're hearing is some degree of a false narrative, and a false narrative that's leading us or contradicting or causing us to be motivated into some response or action that is not really what our true soul purpose is. So we need to take a step back from all those narratives and look at our own discernment and follow our own heart. Jesus told us that we would be able to do everything and more that he did. So maybe that's the example we should follow, and try to look around at what are we doing that's as great and greater than Jesus in the world of healing and showing compassion and love to people, And we should recognize that as the opportunity instead of waiting for some new technology to heal us. So, using our own discernment and navigating the storm as best we can look for these examples and these opportunities that come our way. This week, as we all travel about our daily living, if we can be more aware and more observing of these opportunities, and when we see them, take a moment and breathe into them. Breathe a deep breath into the opportunity, and then exhale. Exhale appreciation, awareness, and a smile for the opportunity that's come your way. I think if we all breathe in to love and joy and bliss and exhale into compassion, mercy, and forgiveness, we can all exhibit our shared humanity together. Taking action in all these small ways is our way of inhaling bliss and calm and exhaling out into the universe, the new universe that we are creating individually together. If you would like to join us at Illinois Bridging Awareness, the Illinois Bridging Awareness call is every Saturday at 9 a.m. Central Time on Zoom. I will include my email in the description of this video. I'll be happy to send you an invitation, and I look forward to seeing you very, very soon.